in the midst of George and actually being with other musicians, did you
Mhm.
feel as if you have arrived? This was it, nothing else
Listen,
left.
first of all, when George Clinton said I was cool, I was cool. I didn't care if nobody else thought I was cool. And then when I got a chance to sit for a few minutes with my bass with Louis Johnson, who was like the greatest ever, and Larry Graham,
Mm.
and there's a Southern rock band called Mother's Finest I looked up to with a bass player named Wizard. And I got to sit with all three of those guys.
Wow.
And I just thought, okay, I was like between 16 and like 20. I was like, my life could end now, and I've done everything. I've done all of it. I've done everything. That's how I felt.
But did you even think beyond that, or when did it change then?
I just knew I wanted to be on some records. And so the Solar Galaxy of Stars, which was the Whispers,
Oh, so
Lakeside,
this
Shalimar.
Dick Griffey's label.
Yes,
Okay.
Dick Griffey's label. So of course, Dick Griffey, Mr. Griffey would notice me standing out there. He'd be like, like waving me in, waving me in. And I met Leon Silvers, who was the
Oh,
producer of all those incredible records.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. And Shalimar was my favorite group. So I got to talk to Howard Hewitt and, Jeffrey and Jody, but Howard was my favorite singer. So that was amazing. And Leon Silvers came up to me maybe the second year they were touring in the Southeast, and he said, I need to get your number because we may have something for you, and maybe we'll bring you out to LA. Okay, I've heard this a bunch. Okay, so I gave him my
Okay.
number. 2 months later, they called and said, we have a female group, but the bass player can't play. Are you interested in coming out to join the group? I was like, yeah. So they got me a plane ticket, and 2 weeks later, I was in LA, and it was for Klymaxx.
Okay. Had you heard of them before?
Nobody had heard of them. Didn't have any records out, or they had just gotten
Okay.
signed.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Wow. Okay. So, yeah, but then, because I mean, traveling across from the south to the west coast, were you prepared for that? I mean, that just you seem to
No,
make it seem so easy. Like, but I would be like leaving the family and.
no, but I mean, I was always a traveler, so I was
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah, in the army. Yeah,
finally
yeah.
I get to see California. It's exciting.
Mm,
Yes.
okay. What was mom and dad like at this time when you're like, okay, we got George Clinton now, the Solar Records are calling you.
My father was always holding his head, but he was like, I was so strong-willed.
Wow.
He's like, okay, unfortunately, my mom passed like maybe 3 years before I got that opportunity.
Wow.
Yeah, she
Wow.
passed very, very young in her 40s, in her early 40s. So she always encouraged me, but she never got to see what happened.
Wow. And it did how did that have, I would have thought some being firstborn and being female, some might feel I need to be there for my siblings and my dad. But was that ever across your mind or?
It crossed my mind. I was concerned about my younger brother and sister. My brother, he was fine. He was perfectly fine. He was he graduated from high school. He had a great paying job at this place called Kelly Springfield. They manufactured tires. And he was award-winning tire manufacturer by the time I left. And my sister was on her way, like getting ready to graduate. So, and they were very excited for me. And so and then when my mom died, it's like I just became, things affect us differently. But I became like really withdrawn and then an extrovert at the same time. It makes no sense. But I just wanted to go places and do things because I thought, oh, you could actually lose your life at any time and not get to do stuff. So it sort
Mm,
of pushed me to try to do more as quickly as I could.
yeah.
And because
Wow.
she wanted it for me so much, I felt like I was doing it like for both of us.
Okay. And
Yeah.
so the journey to California then, especially Los Angeles, and then to join a label that had Shalimar and the Whispers and
Mhm.
stuff. I mean, that you must have dealt. And I think Motown had moved to California at that time as well.
Yes, right down the street.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And I always wanted to be on Motown, and I wanted to be on Solar, and I wanted to work with George Clinton.
Okay. But then you get to you meet the girls. Do they welcome you with open arms, like, hey, or I mean, that must be, how does that like then? Because and you must be excited and everything, and they probably thinking, okay, wait a minute, we did the hard work, you just join on it.
Yeah, they're like, what's funny is they had really just been put together like maybe a few months earlier.
Okay.
And there was a woman at Solar who saw them and was like, I want to sign you guys. They had never like gone out and done a whole bunch of gigs or anything like that.
Mm.
And I'd been doing that. So when I came in, they were just looking at me like, who is this country girl coming in here that Mr. Griffey was like, I need to bring her in here from North Carolina, like instead of whoever else you guys got in mind here in California. But they were perfectly cool. It was a wonderful experience. Yeah, so I fit right in, and it was cool. Excuse me.
The idea of a female band at that point in time must have been, was there any other female bands, either pop, rock, or anything?
The only people I knew about, and that was probably after, I don't know when the Go-Go's and the Bangles started, but they didn't start much before us, or they may have started after us. I don't even know.
Yeah. So could you see the vision then of, I mean, of an all-female, with it, like the version of the Time or something, with the Time Out Act? I can't remember.
Yeah. We have our Time story as well. Okay. But yes, but then now there was a group of orchestra, the International Sweethearts, which were a group of it was a black female orchestra, I believe.
Okay.
Which I just learned about, that were in the 40s, the 30s and 40s. And so I found that fascinating, to learn about them. But I had never heard of a female band, never thought about it, because I was always the only female in male bands.
Yeah. Then you had to see Jodie Watley and Shalimar, so you as a point. Did so you being the one who's done most of the touring and actually playing, were the others good musicians as well? Was it? I know Bernadette was the drummer, but the jam, the vibing as a group, how quickly did it take before you guys really became cohesive as a?
It was pretty instantaneous. They were still missing a percussionist and another keyboard player, somebody who does synthesizers. So we had auditions, and there was a young lady named Robin Greider who ended up being with us permanently. And then we auditioned percussionists, and they called in this young lady who was in LA. I didn't know her, but when I got to the studio and we all met, she listened to our stuff. She was like, yeah, you guys are cool, but I think I'm going to do some stuff on my own. And that was Sheila E., which nobody knows. Yeah. So yeah, Sheila came out maybe a couple of weeks after I got there. But her choice she did very well with her choice. Yeah. But that's just something nobody knows. Like what? Yeah.
Okay. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of Halftime Chat. Please remember to subscribe, share, and comment. But most importantly, why don't you become a member of Halftime Chat? We've got amazing videos, amazing perks, and being able to support the channel. But anyway, thanks for watching. Take care.
I never participated in that kind of.
And somewhere in between
us, or even loving us, on which I did miss you.
What was it like growing up?
She's still making an impact on 4 houses down.
I have a couple of pieces.
trying to get this one and that one.
That works for you, but just for me,
No, okay, you're okay.
They don't understand what Joyce's voice winning all spirits.
Play it.
And all these guys, they all work together.
I mean, I love all different genres.